Okay, Love Thy Neighbor fans, call this somewhat of a retro review. Almost like a celebration due to the fact that this past, Sunday, I believe, was the 9th anniversary of Love Thy Neighbor's debut on the OWN network. They dropped the first 2 episodes at, I believe, 9 o'clock. Was it 9? Yeah, on the 29th. And last night, mainly because Sunday I wasn't recording, so I just made a couple of posts on social media. But I figured, you know what? I might as well go ahead and rewatch the first 2 episodes to see if the show holds up. Remember that this came out the summer after preparing for my first year of, or my last year of graduate school. So I remember these episodes well. These 2 episodes as well as the haves and have-nots. But clearly I have not seen these episodes since 2013. Went online last night, binged the first 2 episodes. And remember, these are Tyler Perry-like sitcoms or comedies. So the episodes were only like 20-ish minutes. So yeah, it was pretty easy to get through. But I'm going to be doing reviews on both episodes, 1 video per episode, even though technically I could probably just do the reviews in one and be done with it. But nah, let's do these first 2. And if these videos do well, I might continue to do the retro reviews, basically kind of going back in the good old time machine to talk about, hey, let's go back to 2000 this and talk about, the first couple episodes of this show. I mean, I know I said, and I still plan to do it, go back and review the original, and I mean not the WB version of House of Pain, just to see what that was like compared to TBS. And then maybe one day I'll do like For Better or Worse. So there we go. But we are talking Love Thy Neighbor Season 1, Episode 1, What's Love Got to Do with It? 7 out of 10. Thought this was a decent start to this series. But basically, the show opens up with Linda coming over to her mother Hattie's house, and she is pretty much ticked off that Danny is just, sleeping on the couch and doesn't have a job, isn't out looking for a job. And, Linda is begging with her mom to give him some grace because it's not easy out there. He just graduated school. It's established he did well, but he isn't able to, get a job. And at the time, this was me on summer vacation from college and, being at home. Parents always like, when are you getting a job? When are you getting a job? And it's like, look, I mean, it isn't as easy to find a job today as it was when you were, my age. But parents don't want to hear that. They want to see results right then, right there, right now. But Hattie's talking about, well, Linda, why don't you let your son stay at your place? Which is a decent thing to say, But apparently Linda's husband said that, hey, we need to scale down because we moved into a place that only has 1 bedroom in order to save money. And that's why it's pretty much landed on Hattie to let Danny stay with her. But instead of letting him stay in a bedroom, he's only allowed to sleep on the couch. So Hattie goes into the living room and makes Danny get up because Linda is babying him, basically, coddling him. Baby, wake up. And then, Hattie wakes him up in a rush. So it turns out that he isn't having much luck with jobs, and it's not that he doesn't have any interviews lined up. Well, he just doesn't because he doesn't like being rejected because it's harder than he thought. And yeah, there's a difference between not getting a job because you're not getting hired versus not getting a job because you haven't looked for any or found any interviews. Quick segue, that's kind of what got me started on YouTube. I was 3 years deep in my job at that call center, constantly applying for other jobs but getting rejected. And I think that was the core basis of why I quit. I was just sick of rejection. At the time I got turned down like I think maybe 3 girls within the span of a couple of months, and the job hunt wasn't going any better. And I'm like, what I need to do, if possible, is put myself in a position where I won't have to deal with rejection. I'll kind of be in my own little world where I'll be my own boss and whatnot. Forget trying to chase women. I'm just going to focus on making this paper. And hey, here's where I am today. But yeah, you could tell that Linda definitely babied her son. But from there, her husband Lionel walks in, and Hattie isn't too keen on him just barging in there without knocking on the door. And then Floyd shows up as well. Turns out that Floyd and Hattie are related by marriage. I believe Hattie married Floyd's older brother, making him Linda's uncle and Danny's great uncle, if I'm not mistaken. And essentially Lionel is somebody that Hattie never approved of, and they've been married for about 4 years now because Danny's father passed away. Alright, so Floyd is also co-owner of the restaurant, the Love Train Diner. The name escaped me because I don't think it was ever mentioned at all in these 2 episodes. I think it was out on the front of the building when we got exterior shots. But from there, Danny's still having a tough time getting a job, and Floyd is pretty much saying, oh yeah, I gotta just came by to say hi because I closed down the restaurant. Here's the keys to open them up because I gotta go to my second job, being superintendent of a building to collect rent. And Hattie's just mad because she doesn't want to go over there and open it up herself. It kind of reminds me of the John and Miss Alice dynamic when it comes to the sandwich shop. Alright, so instead of letting them stay while she goes to work, she makes everybody leave. So she throws out Lionel, Linda, and Danny. And also, Floyd mentions, hey man, Lionel, you coming to poker night on Thursday, right? So we go over to Sam. We're going over to the apartment complex. Sam, who's a character, and he's dressed like a woman to avoid Floyd to, make sure he doesn't have to pay the rent. So, Floyd calls him out on it, and he makes him make sure he'll have rent for him by the end of the day. And then my bae, or I believe, no, wait, I don't think bae, is bae, do people say bae anymore? My boo Drew comes out, and she says hi to Floyd and gives her half of the rent to him. I'm not going to lie. No, maybe I'll say this for episode 2 because Drew doesn't have much of a presence in the first episode. She's partly in episode 2, but I think once I watch more episodes, that's when I'll see more of her. These were the first 2 episodes, so not everybody's going to have a spotlight on them, but we kind of got a taste of what their character has to offer. But yeah, Drew's in this episode, I think once or twice. So basically, she says, oh wow, my roommate Crystal, she's in the apartment with her half of the rent. You can get it from her. And Floyd goes in to collect rent, and it looks like he walked in an intimate moment because Crystal's on the couch sitting on top of Lionel. We go to commercial break. Crystal goes to the back to get a check for her half of the rent, and it turns out that Crystal and Lionel have been messing around for 2 months, and Lionel wants Floyd to keep this on the DL. It's like, hey, nobody needs to know about this. And Floyd just says, hey, I'll keep it quiet until the end of the day. You have until the end of the day to tell Linda what's going on, or I will, because I got a responsibility to keep the young women of this building safe. And I mean, you're an older married man, you're old enough to be her daddy. So Crystal says, hey, I don't have any checks, but I have the rent for you by the end of the day. She'll swing by the diner to get it to him. So Danny is sulking on the couch because it turns out he snuck back in the house by climbing through the basement window. Drew and Sam come by because one of their employees got fired, so there's a job opening, and they pulled a lot of strings in order to get him an interview. So instead of going over there with his wrinkled clothes and whatnot, they make him go upstairs, put on a suit to get this interview so he can get this job and stop living with his grandma. Now, we go over to the final scene at the diner. You got Floyd, who's upset. He's just throwing dishes around. Hattie's ready to kill him for it, but he basically let it slip about, hey, here's what happened with Lionel and Hattie, and Lionel and Crystal. And the funny thing is, ooh, shut your mouth and keep on talking. So basically from there, it's arranged where, hey, Crystal's coming by to give me that check for rent. And then, yeah, I think Linda and Lionel, they went on an errand or something. So basically they're waiting for the trains to collide in the diner when all these individuals show up. So Lionel actually shows up, and from there, actually, Lionel first, then it's Linda, and then Crystal comes in to give Floyd the check, and then she's hugged up on Lionel in front of Linda. And it's like, wait, who are you? Who are you? I'm his wife. Wait, you're married? You dog, you don't even call me no more. So she leaves, and then Lionel is caught red-handed cheating, which is hilarious. So from there, he gets left behind, and that's pretty much it. It's just interesting to me that he got kicked to the curb twice in a matter of seconds. So from there, we go over to Linda saying, hey, you know what? I'll come by tonight to get the rest of my things. Wait, what are you doing? Wait. And then Hattie's like, wait, if you get the rest of your stuff, where are you going? I'm moving back in with you. Wait, no. Because it turns out that he's cheated on her 4 times before. Because when she said, you haven't changed, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, he must have cheated before in the past. No, he cheated 4 times. I'm like, damn, y'all have been married 4 years. Like, well, what's going on with that? So then we get to the end of the episode, and I forgot, like, this show, when the end credits popped up, there would still be, like, a stinger at the end of the episode where it's, like, a 30-second, like, oh, we're finishing up the episode. But basically, it's a situation where we have Linda who's upset about everything that's going on because what am I going to do? I don't have a job. You know, he took care of me. He wouldn't let me work. And then you have Danny who pops up and he gets let in by Hattie because he has exciting news to tell her regarding a paycheck because he got a job. So Danny's excited because he's working, but then Linda's upset because her life is falling apart. And that's the episode. Overall, I thought this was a pretty decent episode to introduce fans to the characters as well as the premise of the show. Yeah, I mean, the whole cheating husband thing, it kind of felt like one and done. Like, the scene was really quick. But then again, it is a sitcom, so it's not a dramatic thing where it's like, I can't believe you're cheating on me. Or the fact that Floyd caught Lionel with another woman, that probably would have been stretched out for like half of a season. But regardless, yeah, I thought this was the interesting way to open the show. And yeah, like I said, 7 out of 10. I thought this was a decent episode. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And make sure you check out my episode 2 review for Love Thy Neighbor. As I said, no guarantee I will do the entire series. But if these videos do halfway decent, I wouldn't mind revisiting this show in the future.